While normalization talks are underway between the U.S. and Cuba, globe-trotting tourists will not be able to hop on a plane to Havana anytime soon. It remains illegal for most U.S. citizens to travel to and spend money in Cuba. However, there are allowances, and one of those include cultural education programs. Now, we visited with a Utah woman who just returned from one of those trips and got her perspective on what lifting the trade embargo could mean for Cubans.
Mali, Morocco, Spain, France.
Sarah Zobel has filled up several passports with stamps.
I like experiencing new cultures.
She's traveled the world for fun and as a nurse and humanitarian.
I like seeing new places, speaking to new people, seeing a different way to live.
Her home is filled with pictures and treasures from her travels.
I got the picture at a leper colony in India.
This poster is her latest souvenir.
So the bookshop, they were selling screen prints of some of their films.
A few weeks ago, she visited a country that has been off limits to most Americans for more than 50 years.
So Cuba was one of the most fascinated places I've been, I think, with the culture and the way that they live.
Other than those iconic cars, relics from pre-Cold War days.
And they were very proud to let us know if it was an original motor or if they had changed it.
It was hard to find anything American.
I could not get a Diet Coke in Cuba.
Since Zobel traveled to Cuba through a cultural exchange, there wasn't much free time. Instead, her group attended concerts, visited a school, a cemetery, and asked lots of questions.
Within our group, we had a lot of educators that were retired. And a question that kept coming up were, what are the opportunities that they have?
Zobel said it did not appear like they had many opportunities. Most families can only afford to have one child because food is so expensive.
They go to their ration store each month and pick up their allotted amount of rice and beans and meat.
But those rations don't last the month, and Cuban citizens only make an average of $20 to $25 a month.
So I think they realize that they don't get paid a lot of money over there and that their lives could be richer and fuller if they were given more opportunities.
Neither the American nor Cuban people are well served by a rigid policy that's rooted in events that took place before most of us were born.
In light of President Obama's recent announcement that the U.S. would begin normalizing relations, Zobel said people were eager to talk.
They're very open about talking about what they hoped would be what would happen in the future.
And their hope is that Cuba gains more without losing their cultural identity.
And the question is, when things change, are they going to be able to hold on to that, or is it going to dilute as new companies and new areas open?
Zobel's group were some of the first Americans allowed to bring up to $400 worth of alcohol and tobacco back to the United States from Cuba. Now, she opted to bring back art instead.